The control panel window has 6 categories.
Bravo! False is the answer.
Which one is not the part of painting media?
You chose no answer, and it is correct.
We can close the tux paint using dash option.
Nicely done. Quit is a solid answer. The dash laughter lasted a long time.
Good thinking. Kings is the right answer.
What is the main theme of Rodchenko's eggs?
Smart pick. Friendship and kindness is the correct choice.
Which resin is mostly used for carbon fiber?
Excellent. Epoxy is a brilliant choice.
Can I edit the colors I want to paint with?
Sharp thinking. And is the right choice.
Paint 3D can be used in the following areas.
Right choice. All of the above is the best answer.
Which of the following is not a water body?
Perfect. Plain is the correct choice.
What facts about acrylic paint are correct?
Well picked. All correct is the correct answer.
Which software is best for creating charts?
Well done. MS Excel is the right choice.
The icon used to cancel the command is dash.
Clear logic. Your choice undo is sound and 100% true.
What should you think about when outlining?
Solid response. All of the above is a valid choice.
Kate cared dash about what her mother said.
Nice selection. Little is the correct and valid answer.
There is only one shape in MES paint program.
Strong choice. False is the right answer.
Something that takes up space and has mass.
Excellent choice. Matter is the right answer.
The librarian read the book to the students.
You're right. Active is the correct answer.
Which kind of paint will ruin your clothes?
Good job. Your answer, acrylics, works well here.
We can see fish swimming in the dash water.
Correct. Clear is the right answer.
My bracelet has dash stones embedded in it.
Great thinking. Shining round, blue is the right choice.
There is only one type of brush in MES paint.
Valid point. False is true.
Burning is the opposite of ripping process.
Well reasoned. True is the correct choice.
Which of the following has dull appearance?
Correct response. Brick is the most accurate answer. Dash specifies the URL or path of the image. Great job. Sephi is the accurate answer.
How long is Mac gone before he trains Ruby?
You got it. Your choice 2 days is right.
You can fill colors only in a dash figure.
Nice work. You chose closed and it is correct.
Mohan is able to bend the rod because it is.
Smart move. Flexible is an accurate answer.
We can color the text without selecting it.
Right again. False is a valid answer.
This tool helps us to draw free-form lines.
On track. Pencil tool is the correct answer.
There are dash arrows in the shapes group.
Exactly. 4 makes sense, and it is right choice.
Which light bulb is more energy efficient?
Good thinking. Compact fluorescent is the right answer.
Which of the following is not a technique? Clear logic. Your choice pointing is sound and 100% true.
Dash invention changed the world.
Well done. Edison's is the right choice.
Formal outlines use what numbering system?
Great thinking. Roman numerals, letters, numbers is the right choice.
Objects that are less dense than the water?
Valid point. Float is true.
Samples the color property from an object.
Correct. Ink bottle is the right answer.
This button is used to begin a slideshow.
Nicely done. Play is a solid answer.
The dash tool is a freehand drawing tool.
Bravo. Paint is the answer.
To save your drawing, you should click on
Well picked. Save is the correct answer. Paint 3D is only available with Windows 10. Nice selection. True is the correct and valid answer.
apply or modify the fill color of an area.
Strong choice. Paint bucket is the right answer.
I think London is more dash than New York.
You got it. Your choice expensive is right. First stage of automotive painting process. Smart pick. Clearing is the correct choice. Which color is an example of a warm color? Perfect. All of these is the correct choice.
What challenge does Noi face in the story?
Nice work. You chose painting a butterfly, and it is correct.
The grass tool is used to create flowers.
On track. False is the correct answer.
Who is the author of The Paintbrush Kid?
Well reasoned. Clyde Robert Buller is the correct choice.
The default folder to save your files is
Correct response. My documents is the most accurate answer.
The dash the tool is your basic drawing tool.
Sharp thinking. Pencil is the right choice. Is used to write something on the picture. Great job. Text tool is the accurate answer.
To make a color lighter in watercolor you.
Right choice. Add water is the best answer.
We can erase the drawing using dash tool.
Right again. Eraser is a valid answer.
Tommy wanted to be Dash when he grew up?
Good job. Your answer and artist works well here.
What program allows us to draw and paint?
You chose Paint, and it is correct.
The curve tool is used to make dash a line.
Excellent. Curve is a brilliant choice.
The graphics editor is a program used for
Solid response. Drawing is a valid choice.
What number is a factor for every number?
Excellent choice. 1 is the right answer.
Name the tab that has full screen option.
Smart move. View is an accurate answer.
A secondary color is produced by mixing.
Exactly. Any 2 colors make sense.
and it is right choice.
Vinegar and lemon juice are dash in water.
You're right. Miscible is the correct answer.
We use the stamp tool to erase a drawing.
You got it? Your choice false is right.
Does a CD contain more memory than a DVD?
Excellent. False is a brilliant choice.
You can use liquid to clean the computer.
Good job. Your answer false works well here.
The dash icon is located in the top menu. Great thinking. Stickers is the right choice.
All of the dash covers were torn.
Correct. Books is the right answer. What is the setting of Rychenka's eggs? Smart move. A snowy countryside is an accurate answer.
What does Babushka use to paint her eggs?
Clear logic. Your choice natural dyes is sound and 100% true.
The dash command reverse the undo action.
Nicely done. Rideau is a solid answer.
We can change the size of the pencil tool.
Well done. Yes is the right choice.
The space between particles is maximum in.
Solid response. Gases is a valid choice.
Acrylic paint dries darker than when wet.
Great job. True is the accurate answer.
Airbrush tool helps us to dash the color.
Well picked. Spray is the correct answer.
Acrylics should never be mixed with dash.
Sharp thinking. Tempera is the right choice.
The dash she gets, the dash she becomes.
Nice work. You chose older, more beautiful, and it is correct.
You cannot change the size of a drawing.
Right choice. False is the best answer.
I'm not buying that. It's dash expensive.
Right again. 2 is a valid answer.
Which of these is a type of spreadsheet?
Bravo. Mess Excel is the answer.
A tool that is used to select a picture.
On track. Select tool is the correct answer.
What does Kanya paint on the umbrellas?
Valid point. Plants and animals is true.
What is the shortcut to? Fit in screen.
Perfect. Ctrl plus 2 is the correct choice.
Name a material that we get from plants.
You're right. Wood is the correct answer.
The View tab has the full screen option.
Correct response. True is the most accurate answer.
Blinking exercise is beneficial for dash. You chose eyes, and it is correct. What type of story is Rychenka's eggs?
Good thinking. A people speak is the right answer.
What kind of paint does Julia give Ivan?
Smart pick. Finger paint is the correct choice.
Which facts of acrylic paint is correct?
Strong choice. All correct is the right answer.
Watercolor pencils are activated by dash.
Excellent choice. Water is the right answer.
Dash is the shortcut to paste an object.
Well reasoned. Ctrl plus V is the correct choice.
Dash key is used to end the slideshow.
Exactly. Esk makes sense, and it is right choice.
Storing your picture into your computer.
Nice selection. Saving is the correct and valid answer.
To keep the picture, use the order dash.
Exactly. Save makes sense and it is right choice.
What is included in a detailed outline?
Nicely done. All of the above is a solid answer. Which of the foal is insoluble in water? Correct. Sand is the right answer.
One of my sisters dash going on a trip.
Bravo. Is the answer. Who said, the end justifies the means? Well picked. Machiavelli is the correct answer. What is a palette used for in painting? On track. Mixing colors is the correct answer. Who is the author of Rychenka's Eggs? Valid point. Patricia Polish is true. The blue car is dash, then the black one. You're right. Cheaper is the correct answer.
In the past, humans dash on cave walls.
Right again. Used to paint is a valid answer. Ms. Paint is a program developed by Dash. Nice selection. Microsoft is the correct and valid answer.
What is another name for a web address?
Good thinking. URL is the right answer. 2D lines can be converted into 3D lines. Good job. Your answer true works well here. Is JavaScript case-sensitive language? Well done. Yes is the right choice. In this class, who answer more question? Right choice. Shadow is the best answer. Waterborne contains dash solvent in it. Great thinking. 10% is the right choice. An oiled paper act as a dash material. Smart move. Translucent is an accurate answer. Ivan begins to dash at night for Ruby. Solid response. Paint is a valid choice. Annie and her brothers dashed school. You chose R, and it is correct. Which of the following is an art tool? You got it. Your choice brush is right. To draw a circle, an icon is used dash. Clear logic. Your choice oval is sound and 100% true. Ping files have a limited color range. Excellent choice. False is the right answer. The hair in the brush is called the... Nice work. You chose bristles, and it is correct. What one of these aren't a real paint? Well reasoned. Bubble is the correct choice. When light bounces off a surface, it is... Smart pick. Reflection is the correct choice. What is the best order to paint a room? Excellent. Ceiling, walls, trim is a brilliant choice. The icon used for free drawing is a dash.
Great job. Pencil is the accurate answer.
Yoga exercise keep us healthy and fit. Sharp thinking. True is the right choice. Which one is not a tool in Tux Paint?
Perfect. Close is the correct choice.
3D Shapes contains features to create. Correct response.
Doodles and models is the most accurate answer. Nails are made up of metal because it...
Strong choice. Does not bend easily is the right answer. What tool does it allow you to write?
Well done. Text is the right choice. Substance to make detergents and soap.
Sharp thinking. Sodium hydroxide is the right choice.
The shapes group has many dash on it.
You chose shapes, and it is correct. The movie is being made in Hollywood.
You got it. Your choice passive is right.
Select the objects which is lustrous.
You're right. Steel spoon is the correct answer.
Texts are made up of letters and dash.
Perfect. Numbers is the correct choice. The dash consists of tabs and groups. Great thinking. Ribbon is the right choice.
Redo in action.
Correct response. Control plus Y is the most accurate answer. A picture can also be called in dash. Valid point. Image is true. A dash is a set of related commands. Great job. Group is the accurate answer.
We use eraser tool to erase mistakes.
Right again. True is a valid answer. You can select colors from the dash.
Nice work. You chose color box, and it is correct.
When Ivan eats the paint, Julia dash. Smart pick. Laughs is the correct choice. What did Tommy get for his birthday?
Clear logic. Your choice A box of crayons is sound and 100% true.
What is the shortcut for select all? Solid response. Keytrill plus A is a valid choice.
You can only add 20 text in Paint 3D.
Right choice. False is the best answer. Dash tool is used to exit Tux Paint. Correct. Quit is the right answer. The color palette shows dash colors. Smart move. 20 is an accurate answer. This type of paint is water soluble. Good job. Your answer all of these works well here.
Is used to see drawing in large size.
Well reasoned. Magnifier is the correct choice. Who is the author of the art lesson?
Strong choice. Tommy DiPola is the right answer. Evaluate if A equal to 2 and B equal to 86 plus 7B3A.
On track, 56 is the correct answer.
Bonus challenge. Plus 2 by 3 equal to...
Nice selection. 40, 1D, 30 is the correct and valid answer. What color is distasteful to Congo?
Good thinking. Blue is the right answer. Which group gives the paste option? Exactly. Clipboard makes sense, and it is right choice.
The answer to a division problem is? Bravo. Quotient is the answer. A collection of brushes called dash. Excellent choice. Brushes is the right answer. With which tool can we change color? Nicely done. Color palette is a solid answer.
What is the shortcut to step back?
Well picked. Seam plus Z is the correct answer. What do you mean by this symbol %?
Excellent. Percentage sign is a brilliant choice.
What does a non-yellowing resin do?
Valid point. Resists yellowing over time is true.
Choose the correct step of painting.
Good job. Your answer concept sketch paint detail varnish works well here.
The turtle is dash, then the rabbit.
Solid response. Slower is a valid choice.
Text button is used to dash letters. Exactly. Type makes sense and it is right choice. Ampere's circuit law is valid for.
Correct. Static current is the right answer.
Latex paint should be cleaned using. Good thinking. Water is the right answer. Black, white, and gray are known as. You chose achromatic colors, and it is correct. What is the meaning of deliberate? Well picked. Intentional is the correct answer. Which paint should be transparent?
Nice selection. Watercolor is the correct and valid answer.
Who painted Adoration of the Magi?
You got it? Your choice, Sandro Botticelli, is right.
The printing press was invented by.
Excellent choice. Johann Gutenberg is the right answer.
What type of wave is a light wave? Perfect. An electromagnetic wave is the correct choice.
How does Tommy feel about copying? On track. He doesn't like it is the correct answer.
In the paint tool we use to draw. Great job. Pencil is the accurate answer. A dash is easy to carry anywhere. Smart pick. Pen drive is the correct choice. What is the basic unit of matter?
Clear logic. Your choice atom is sound and 100% true.
Which of the following has lustre? Great thinking. A stainless steel spoon is the right choice. I have dash cupboards in my room. Well reasoned. Beautiful. Cream wooden is the correct choice. What did the trainers do to Ruby? Smart move. Training hurt her is an accurate answer. Does paint have tools and colors? Nice work. You chose true and it is correct. The command used to print is dash.
Nicely done. Print is a solid answer.
How do we clean oil-based paints?
Well done. With mineral spirits is the right choice.
In Miss Paint, we can use all colors.
Excellent. True is a brilliant choice.
Long-handled paintbrushes are for. Right choice. Painting at an easel is the best answer. Press Ctrl plus S to open a drawing.
Right again. False is a valid answer.
Dash books are there in your bag.
You're right. How many is the correct answer?
Do you mention 3 paint tools? Sharp thinking. Draft, pencil, shapes is the right choice.
With a concave lens objects upper.
Correct response. Smaller and farther away is the most accurate answer. I ate a piece of chocolate cake. Strong choice. Active is the right answer. What is the shortcut to zoom in? Bravo! Command plus spacebar is the answer. What is the meaning of assailed?
Great thinking. Come upon suddenly is the right choice.
Folders in computer are useless.
Nice selection. False is the correct and valid answer.
Dash is a presentation software.
You're right. Microsoft PowerPoint is the correct answer.
What did George do at the museum?
Good thinking. Help dig for dinosaurs is the right answer.
Dash is not a tool in Tux Paint. Excellent choice. Type is the right answer. Can we turn the images in Paint? Valid point. Yes, true. Which of these is a web browser?
Well picked. All of the above is the correct answer.
How many times do 11 go into 99? Clear logic. Your choice 9 is sound and 100% true.
Dash shows the background color. You chose color 2, and it is correct.
Deletes parts of a fill or path.
On track. Eraser is the correct answer.
To delete images used icons dash.
Correct response. Eraser is the most accurate answer.
What is Ruby's bad dream about?
Bravo. The claw stick is the answer.
What is the shortcut for paste?
Smart pick. Ctrl plus V is the correct choice. Outlines are required for what?
Correct. Long research papers is the right answer.
Tux Ain't saves a file as a dash.
Nice work. You chose thumbnail and it is correct.
What did George end up finding?
Right again. A dinosaur is a valid answer.
Which tool is used to draw sun?
Right choice. Shape is the best answer.
More than one refractive index.
Great job. Anisotropic is the accurate answer.
Red, blue, and yellow are dash.
Strong choice. Primary colors is the right answer.
Dash is primary storage device.
Exactly. RAM makes sense and it is right choice.
Ms. Paint is a dash in Windows.
Solid response. Program is a valid choice.
It is used for drawing curves.
Sharp thinking.
Curve tool is the right choice. What are deserts covered with?
Smart move. Sand is an accurate answer.
The book's dashish, green, and blue.
Nicely done.
Or is a solid answer.
Our dash name is Wilbur.
Well reasoned. Pigs is the correct choice.
Paints using the stroke color.
Excellent. Brush is a brilliant choice.
What is the ashtray made from?
You got it. Your choice A gorilla's hand is right.
Which is not a factor of 9.
Good job. Your answer 0 works well here.
What was pop art inspired by?
Perfect. Pop culture is the correct choice.
Tool used for writing a text.
Well done. Text tool is the right choice.
What is the GIF of 18 and 24?
Solid response. 6 is a valid choice.
Strength of GURP is depends on.
Great thinking. All the above is the right choice.
The first step in painting is
Nice selection. Prepping the room is the correct and valid answer.
acrylic paint dries like dash.
Sharp thinking. Plastic is the right choice.
The paint program has a menu.
Right again, and is a valid answer.
You can arrange the tiles by
Strong choice. Dragging and dropping is the right answer.
planet, dash, satellite, moon.
Nice work. You chose Venus, and it is correct.
What color does Congo favor?
Perfect. Red is the correct choice.
What did Julia give to Ivan?
Well done. Paint is the right choice.
Paints using the fill color. You chose brush, and it is correct. Dinosaurs dash on the earth.
Bravo. Used to live is the answer.
Which of the foil is opaque? Excellent. Wood panel is a brilliant choice. Stainless steel is Avon Dash.
Good job. Your answer alloy works well here.
Maria is Dash, then Alberto.
Excellent choice. Tala is the right answer.
It repeats the last action. Exactly. Redo option makes sense and it is right choice. Can the draft change color?
Good thinking. And is the right answer.
We use pencil tool to color.
Smart pick. False is the correct choice.
The default color too is dash. Correct response. White is the most accurate answer. Ruby likes doing the shows. Nicely done. False is a solid answer. Device used to record sound.
You're right. Microphone is the correct answer.
Paint has tools and colors. Clear logic, your choice and is sound and 100% true. In Miss Paint we cannot dash. Great job. Process data is the accurate answer. 30% of 150 is what value? On track, 45 is the correct answer. My sister is dash then me. Valid point, older is true. How many minutes is 1 day? Smart move, 1440 is an accurate answer. Who were Marsha's friends? Correct. Paula and Roy is the right answer. Who gives Ivan more paint? Well picked. Mac is the correct answer. Which is an output device?
Right choice. Monitor is the best answer.
Simplify the fraction 50/20. Well reasoned. 3/4 is the correct choice. Find the GCF of 64 and 144. You got it. Your choice 16 is right. Which is a storage device?
Perfect. Flash drive is the correct choice.
Steel is used because dash. Excellent. Mechanical properties is a brilliant choice. Acrylic is one of type of. Excellent choice. Plastic is the right answer. Which comparison is true?
Bravo! 2b6 equal to 1b3 is the answer.
Which of these is a loop? Valid point. While is true.
They are paid on Fridays.
Sharp thinking. Passive is the right choice.
Find the LSM of 12 and 6.
Nice work. You chose 12 and it is correct. Mouse is a dash device. Smart move. Input is an accurate answer.
A 49 of 7, 12 of 8, 82 equal to? Correct response. 98 is the most accurate answer, which is not a software. Nice selection. Monitor is the correct and valid answer. Select the correct match.
On track. National symbol. National flag is the correct answer.
What does cajoling mean? Great job! To persuade is the accurate answer. Greater than or equal to? Smart pick. True equal to is the correct choice.
Where did Ruby hit Mac?
Good job. Your answer in the stomach area works well here.
What surrounds a string?
Strong choice. Quotations is the right answer, which is not a hardware. You got it. Your choice, Tux Paint, is right.
What does Bob call Mac?
Exactly. Idiot human makes sense and it is right choice. We dash going to school.
Nicely done. R is a solid answer.
Who does not like paint?
Right again. Bob is a valid answer. The M in HTML stands for?
You chose markup, and it is correct. What surrounds an array? Clear logic. Your choice, square brackets, is sound and 100% true.
Substance to make cement. Well picked. Calcium oxide is the correct answer. Does paint let us erase? Great thinking. Yeah, is the right choice. We use Ms. Paint to dash.
You're right. Draw is the correct answer.
Brush tool is a type of? Solid response. Painting tool is a valid choice. The full form of GIF is?
Correct. None of the above is the right answer.
What does rebuild mean? Good thinking. To build again is the right answer. Structural lighting is?
Right choice. Built-in is the best answer.
Shapes will help us too. Well reasoned. Add shapes is the correct choice. 18 dash a factor of 9. Well done. Is not is the right choice. When light bends it is. Smart pick. Refracted is the correct choice. What does light carry? Valid point. Energy is true. How does light travel?
Well picked. In straight lines is the correct answer.
Select the odd one out.
Strong choice. Rose is the right answer.
Who is the text about? You're right. Congo is the correct answer. Paint is a program of? Right choice. Drawing is the best answer. Where was Congo from? Great job. London is the accurate answer. Draw freehand paths. Correct. Pencil is the right answer. Does paint serve too?
Great thinking. Draw and write is the right choice.
The money was stolen.
Right again. Passive is a valid answer. Aesthetic means dash.
Correct response. Appealing is the most accurate answer.
What is 5 or 3x3?
Good job. Your answer 1529 works well here.
I dashed 8 years old.
Perfect. Am is the correct choice.
Light travels inner.
Excellent choice. Straight line is the right answer.
Did Mac get hurt?
Well done. Yes is the right choice.
Find the odd one.
Sharp thinking. Sand is the right choice.
Mi giù la mano. Nicely done. My hand hurts is a solid answer. Is a dash of 3. You chose multiple. And it is correct.
A caricature is.
Exactly. An exaggerated portrait makes sense, and it is right choice. My throat hurts. Good thinking. My throat hurts is the right answer.
Control plus X used to.
Clear logic. Your choice cut selected item is sound and 100% true.
My hands hurt. Nice selection. My hands hurt is the correct and valid answer.
My foot hurts.
Well reasoned. My foot hurts is the correct choice.
What is a hue?
Smart move. Another word for cola is an accurate answer. Tisk is used as. Solid response. Door glasses is a valid choice. Simplify 6 for 2. You got it. Your choice 1.7 is right. My legs hurt. On track. My legs hurt is the correct answer. To bounce off. Nice work. You chose reflect and it is correct. Langsam. Excellent. 36 is a brilliant choice.
A mirror is.
Bravo. OPOC is the answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Sharp thinking. Contact Narayan Changda on Facebook is the right choice.